Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep. What's up, fam? It's your boy, Papa Swoyo. We're going balls deep on anti-diet culture. You've heard me talk about this on some of my other videos. Most likely, I talked about Madeline Georgetta and her fat-shaming movement and equality and all this fat acceptance and this type of mindset that dieting is bad. We're ready to go balls deep. Thank you so much for being here. I trust that you've watched some of my other videos, but if not, make sure you also subscribe to my second channel, Daily Swole Podcast, for the live streams. That's in the featured channel somewhere down below. And you can also subscribe to the Daily Swole Podcast, links in the description. So thank you for being here. There's always a new movement. There's always something that people want to get behind because they're bored. People are bored. They don't have passion. They don't have any direction in their life. You don't have something more valuable to do with your time than to attack diet culture. Like, you're creating these movements out of nothing. Let's read what diet actually means. The word diet comes from an ancient Greek word meaning, quote, a mode of living. Now, when we talk about diet, most people are looking at dieting as a method of weight loss, losing weight. It's okay to lose weight. It's good to lose weight. You don't want to be obese. I don't think we should be measuring every last calorie. I don't think we should be measuring ourselves on the scale or with a caliper all the time, but you can't deny the absurdly strong correlation between obesity and disease. There's no reason to be overweight. We have access to good food. We have access to exercise. We have access to information. You do not need to be overweight. A lot of people just accept their obesity because they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to work hard to lose weight. They don't want to adjust their lifestyle habits. And people use the excuse that you only live once, that, hey, I'm only here on this earth once. I can eat whatever I want. I want to live to the fullest. I think you should live to the fullest by not trashing your body, by not dying of some preventable disease. That's my take. And I think you should respect your body by treating it properly, by exercising it, by training it, by feeding it proper food, because you are literally what you eat. What you put in your body is going to relate to how you feel, how you perform, how you sleep, just everything. This anti-diet culture movement, I think, is just more people trying to cry out against people that get better results than them. I understand acceptance. I understand being nice to other people. I understand putting your arm around someone and consoling them when things do not go their way. But more often than not, people need this consoling because of the situation they put themselves in. If you eat like shit your whole fucking life, if you don't exercise, you're gonna have issues as a result of it. I don't think anyone is arguing that fact. You're gonna have issues resulting from being lazy, not exercising, making poor choices. But it's important to take responsibility for those choices. If you were not taught by your parents, okay, a lot of people weren't taught proper health by their parents. But we have things called cell phones, where you have the world's collective information and intelligence in the palm of your hand. You can read about exercise and the benefits of exercise. You can read about the problems associated with obesity and morbid obesity and eating crappy foods and not sleeping well and not training, not doing mobility work, all these things we talk about here on the channel all the time. Fat shaming, anti-diet culture, all these things that are designed to unplug from common sense and reality are going to cause more harm than good, because it almost takes away the responsibility for the individual. I understand you don't want to make people think that they have to eat a certain way, that they have to be a certain weight to be valuable. I never talk about that. I think that's completely fucked up. Just because you are 200 pounds doesn't mean you're a shitty person. Just because you're 400 pounds doesn't mean you're a shitty person. It just means that you likely took shitty care of your body, that you likely made shitty food choices. You're gonna tell me you're gonna be happy and healthy at 300 or 400 pounds? You're not gonna live a fulfilled life if you're extremely morbidly obese as a result of lack of action and lack of activity and lack of healthy food choices. It's just anything else. Do you want good results? You gotta put effort in. Do you want bad results? Then don't do shit and let the wheels fall off your fucking car, never rotate your tires, never change your oil, never change or flush your transmission, and the shit's gonna fall apart. You're not gonna have a car anymore. You're gonna have a jalopy. You're gonna have a nice big old fucking paperweight. It's just to push off responsibility, to blame someone else for the situation. It's just blaming the culture. It's blaming society. It's blaming the diet culture. Whatever the fuck you want to call that. Weight loss? Sure. Why can't you separate the two? Don't take away people's responsibility and accountability. Create that accountability. Talk about the importance of body fat loss. Talk about the importance of having a healthy body mass, but are you getting out of breath when you're walking up the flight of stairs? Are you taxing yourself when you're trying to do any kind of physical activity? Can you perform and move the way a human body should move? And a lot of this is opinion, okay? If I say the way a human body should move, you can say, well, who's to say that human beings aren't supposed to be sedentary and that we're evolving to be a more sedentary species because that was supposed to happen? And you can make this kind of like push-pull argument all you want. Those of you that follow this page, most of you agree with me. And if you don't, feel free to drop in the comments down below. I'm happy to hear what you have to say and scroll through and check out the feeling about this. But what do you think about diet culture? What do you think about diet culture? What do you think about anti-diet culture? Today, we need to have a group that's pushing the other direction. Why does there always have to be this fucking cockfight? Why does there always have to be back and forth? I mean, I voice my opinions, and maybe that's what it is, but we don't need a movement against diet culture. Just be healthy. Just stop taking fat burners. Stop trying to do these extreme calorically restricted diets. Like, just do things the right fucking way. The last fucking label that I'll put on any of my content is anti-diet culture. I like thinking of it as more as anti-jabroni culture. Stop following and putting a label on everything. Stop trying to put a title and trying to categorize every last fucking thing. Every last opinion has to have a category. You have to train a certain way. It has to be called CrossFit or HIIT training or bodybuilding or this. Everything's got to have a fucking name. We got to start customizing shit for our own lives and stop putting labels on it, because once you put a label on what you're doing, then there's going to be someone who disagrees, and there's going to be someone who agrees, and there's going to be other options, and just be push-pull, and it's all a fucking hot mess. Just part of life. You should be eating healthy. You should be exercising. You should be training. You should be walking more. You should be squatting more. You should be doing yoga. You should be meditating. You should be rock climbing. You should be cycling. You should be swimming. Do whatever makes you fucking happy. If you want to go swimming, go swimming. Do you have to swim 5 days a week? Sure, if you want to be an elite level swimmer. If you enjoy swimming, go fucking swim. That's the way you should look at you only live once. That's what YOLO should mean. That's what that fucking seize a day shit should mean. Not eat whatever the fuck you want. Not drink yourself into submission every day, not eat yourself into a fucking coma every day, but go do the activities that you love. But being fit, training, eating right is going to help you do those activities for longer. It's going to help your brain function. If you like to read and you love to do things intellectually, go exercise, but go do long walks. Like, just go be more physically active. Feed yourself good food so your brain can function better, so you can think better and think more clearly. You don't have that brain fog from just consuming a lot of garbage foods. This is where I think the conversation has to be. It doesn't have to be called anti-diet culture. There's no battle against diet culture. There's a battle against being a dumb fuck and sucking down every supplement and everything that someone markets to you. Everything is marketing. Everything is someone trying to sell you something. The supermarket's trying to sell you something. Car dealerships are trying to sell you something. Walmart's trying to sell you something. And a supplement company, shocker, is trying to sell you something. But you don't need a car. You can walk. You don't need a fat burner. You can eat less and eat better foods. Not to mention, a fat burner is not going to do jack shit. If you don't learn how to learn and learn how to observe what is being put in front of your face, what are you going to do? Just buy and eat and succumb yourself to every fucking thing? And a fundamental issue for all this diet culture movement is that it's taking too hard of a stance against weight loss. It's blending in with fat acceptance. It's blending in with body positivity. And now we're starting to promote anti-diet culture as, oh, you don't have to lose weight. You don't need to lose weight. You're wonderful the way you are. When being overweight and obese is directly related to these fucking preventable diseases. So let's back off a little bit. You don't have to follow all these strict, fast, challenge, weight loss, shreds, lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, summer shredding bullshit. People aren't self-aware like that. They see anti-diet culture and think, hey, I don't have to fucking diet. I'm beautiful the way I am. I'm obese and I'm beautiful. I'm big and beautiful. Just like Tess Holiday and all that shit. And that's not the case. You're eating yourself to an early grave. You're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to play with your children. You're not going to be able to climb a flight of stairs without being fucking exhausted. Don't go too far the other direction. It's fine to not agree with the weight loss pills, with measuring yourself on a scale and trying to be a skinny mini. I don't agree with that either. But you're swinging too far on the pendulum the opposite direction, and you're taking a stand against everything that fitness is all about. So you can have your own beliefs, but I would be very careful about putting a title on it, because putting a title on it is going to put you in one of those extremist groups eventually, and you're gonna get inundated with all that social mumbo jumbo that really pulls you further and further away from the truth and kind of towards a lack of social responsibility, a lack of accountability to yourself, and an overall lack of health and wellness, which should be the purpose of getting involved with fitness in the first place. Thank you so much, fam, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet liked the video, please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe and check out the links in the description and the cards for the Daily Swole podcast. I also have a second channel that I live stream on every single day, Daily Swole podcast, right here on YouTube. So consider subscribing to that as well. But I'll put the links in the cards in the description down below for the podcast, and I'll bang your ear holes with the knowledge cock every single day. We went balls deep today, fam. I hope you enjoyed it. Feels nice. Super fucking deep. I'll see you next time for the next video. Peace.
East Coast with the gang, 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 gang.